Good morning. It's Monument Mom bringing you some ideas for your winter morning basket. So, this is a collaboration I was invited to participate in, and the collaboration is sponsored by two wonderful YouTubers, Boyboss Mama and the Waldock Way. I will have a link to their channels excuse me, gosh, it is early in the morning, as well as a description of the collaboration in the description box below. It's early, just bear with me. And as usual, I'm going to jump right in because I know that we all have a lot going on. I always say time is of the essence. And like most of you, you just want to get exactly the information from me and then you want to move on. So you don't want to have me rambling on and on and on about things that aren't really necessary right now. So let me just jump right in. I will say this. I was excited to receive this invitation. And so let's see how it goes. So our morning basket, so for many of you, I feel like I'm just so. But anyway, some of you may not be aware of the morning basket concept. And what it is a time for homeschoolers to come together in the morning. Doesn't necessarily have to be morning. I guess it can be afternoon, but it's just a time where your family comes together and you focus on some books, maybe some games and puzzles, and learning together. And then if you have multiple kids, they go on and work on their individual or more one-on-one subjects. We are an only child family. And so after we finish Morning Basket, I kind of use Morning Basket as our springboard. It's an opportunity for us to start the day, start it lightly without it being too overwhelming. And then we get on to some other topics that are a little bit more in depth. I feel like in the morning, sometimes we as adults, we forget that if we have to go to work or go to church or whatever we have to do, there's this adjustment period. We don't just jump out of bed and then go straight to work or go straight to anything. There's a transition. And so this morning basket is how we transition into our school day. So with that, one of the items in the morning basket is this word prompt. It's a writing prompt, 300 writing prompts. And so I just allow my child the opportunity to select. We don't necessarily go in order. Just select the page that resonates with him on that day and that moment, and then write about it. I don't do any editing of this. So this is the opportunity to just do free writing, not be intimidated, and to just have fun. Of course, later on, if I go back and notice items, some of them are glaringly wrong. I try not to. That's another video on how you really edit your child's work and when you step in. There are so many YouTubers out there that speak to that. And so I don't want to use this time right now, but let's just say this is one of the items in our morning basket. The other two items we use, and so I would say that kind of goes into, that could be language arts and creative writing. The other two items that we use, so we use Mad Libs quite often. This is a Christmas edition. We're going to hold on to this. We started using it last week. We're going to hold on to it because it's kind of Christmas and winter theme. So we're going to continue to use this during the month of January. It's a fun way to bring in some of the parts of speech and to have some silly stories. The other book that we switch out with Mad Libs is Bananagrams. So Bananagrams and the writing prompts I picked up at Five Below, and actually Mad Libs as well, Five Below, and all of these books were less than $5. Bananagrams, great puzzle book. I think I first saw this book over at My Busy Bees and Me. They hauled this book, and I thought, hey, it looks fun and a great way to add a puzzle that involves spelling and language arts without it being intimidating. So we have that. 2 games that we are including, we always include some type of game. And so the 2 games that we have in the basket this time are Scrabble Slam, and this box is pretty beat up. For our morning basket games, I try to look for handheld card games or little 10 games, something that could take us maybe like 20 minutes to do. My son really liked Risk and Settlers of Catan. I've mentioned those games before. Those are not morning basket games because if you know those games, you know that they can take you hours to play. So we try to just stick in something like this, again, a handheld game. And actually right now, I think Target, I got this at Target maybe a year before last. It was probably less than $3 marked down. January and July, they mark down their games and toys. So if you're looking for some games to add to your morning basket, now would be the time. The other game that we're going to play is a Think Fun game, and it's the math dice. So many of you probably are already familiar with this game, and it's a lot of fun. It involves math, and that is the other game that we will have in our morning basket. So we may play games throughout the day, but these 2 games we will interchange over the month of January for our morning basket time. Now let's get to some other books that don't involve writing, but reading. So the devotion that we will be using is The Indescribable. And I love this book. I think Natasha over at YMO, I think, uses this as well. I love this book. We have not had it that long, but it's a devotional that also involves science. And it really speaks to the amazing way that God has created the earth and everything in it. And it ties it into a devotion. So we will be using this book. And because each day talks about a different area of science or the earth, what I may do is flag the ones that maybe deal with astronomy, stars and planets. And so we may just focus on those for the month of December. You don't have to do the devotional in order because they have days numbered, but it's your book. You can do what you want to do with it. So I think I will flag pages that are based on certain topics, and we'll work through it that way. In terms of poetry, the book that we will be using for January, I was going to say December, gosh, the time has really gotten away from us, is The Treasury for All Seasons. Many of you, if you incorporate poetry tea time into your homeschool day, may be familiar with this book, but it's a wonderful book of poetry, and it goes by the month, not even the season, the month. So I was going to flip to, let's see, winter. So, and I think the illustrations are gorgeous. And here's one of the poems for January. So as you can see, I think they maybe have like 6 or 7 poems per month. And so we will read them, maybe use them as copy work. We probably we won't memorize these because there are other poems that I want my son to memorize. And so we won't memorize these, but we'll read them, reflect, and do some copy work. And lately with our copy work, we've started to do some, I don't want to say decorating, but we're incorporating a little bit of art where he may take some watercolors and just kind of wash the page of the copy work that he has done. And then the last item in our, next to last item in our morning basket is Ancient Greece, Streams of History. This is a wonderful book that talks about ancient Greece in a very story-like manner. We have a textbook that we're using to study ancient Greece, and then we're going to follow with ancient Rome. But I think it's also important. Sometimes the textbooks can be pretty dry. They can be, but I think we can mix those up. We don't have to read page for page and word for word. Um, and so because we are going through a textbook version of the ancient Greek history, I thought it was important to add in a book that is more story-like and enjoyable. And so this is the last book in our morning basket. So the other item, and it's not something that I can hold up, we listen to I don't want to say it's a podcast, but it's called Your Story Hour. And each week they load a different story, it's audio, a story. And they really deal with, uh, it's not always necessarily Christian values, but good morals and values and just wholesome stories. We have enjoyed listening to those stories since we started homeschooling, and we always include it in our morning. We usually put on a story, and there's only one that they load each week. We usually put that story on one day during the week while we're eating breakfast and listen to that. I will put the link to Your Story Hour in the description box below. And that is all that I have to share with you regarding our winter morning basket. And I would actually say this is not quite winter, it's more like January. February will be something different, but this is our January morning basket. And so with that, I will say I've had fun talking to you. If you are new here and you want to receive additional information from me about Morning Basket, Thrifty Living, homeschooling, click the subscribe button and the bell for notifications to let you know when I've uploaded a new video. And if you have already subscribed and you're coming back, thank you, because I know that time is so limited and there's so many people talking about similar products and similar services and similar ways that they do things. And so it means a lot to me when you take the time to pop onto my channel and watch a video. I don't take this for granted at all. And so with that, I want to wish you a wonderful day. And hey, I don't know if you noticed, I took off the glasses this time. I felt like I was just hiding behind the glasses. And so I decided to take them off this morning. Just wanted to note that. But anyway, with that, I'm going to end this video and I hope you enjoy your day. Take care. Come back and see me. Bye.